Friends, and I am raw to the bone. But y'all knew that already. Happy fucking Tuesday, y'all. Oh my God, no matter how long my weekends are, I always look for more. I woke up this morning, I felt like I was rushing around and I was frantic. I also felt like I needed more sleep. But guess what? That's not going to stop us because I always say we're going to have a good day. But before we get into the vibes of today, all right, I am hoping and praying that my video is better today. I've worked on some things over the weekend. So hopefully you guys can tell me what my video looks like on YouTube. If it's not clear, I'm going to scream this morning. Again, I ask for your patience. I am working behind the scenes to try to make things better. So come on in, come on in. Let's get to the vibes of what the fuck we doing today. How we feeling today? You know me.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun.
Step 2.
Get some good, some food in you.
Hey.
Step 3, you grow hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up.
Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day.
Set your affirmations.
Hey, come on in, y'all. Happy fucking Tuesday.
Good food, good mood, blood and circulation.
Hey.
One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control, and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration.
Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Hey, good morning, IG. Come on, because what? Today's gonna be a good day. Today's gonna be a good day. Today's gonna be a what? Hey, ooh, good morning. What? Come on in here. Today's gonna be a good day, even when you feel bad. It's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. You know, life ain't easy. That's what he said. Life ain't easy, but no matter how you feel, wake up and say, it's gonna be a good day. You know why? Because before you know it, it'll be the end of our days, right? We all have a lights off time, right? But while your lights is on, enjoy yourself. Acknowledge that today's gonna be a good day. Gonna fake it till I make it. What? Positive thoughts are overtaken. One day at a time. Hey, Angel. What? Stay away from all the shit that. What? Cause what? Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Hey, Interior Ruin Squad. Hey, the General. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Today's gonna be a good what? No matter what. Say it. Today's gonna be a good day, no matter what. Today's gonna be a good day, no matter what. Today is gonna be a good day. You know, we all have our coping mechanisms, and one of my coping mechanisms is smiling, right? I smile through the hard shit that's hard, y'all. I smile through, like, you know, sometimes I have like this giggle, this laugh when things are not going right. You know, and people might think I'm laughing at a situation or I'm making light of a situation, but it's like a nervous laugh. It's like a coping mechanism, because I feel like the day that I sit still and I start to cry, I feel like I'm gonna be crying for a long time, right? So I giggle a lot, but that should be nervous energy, y'all. And so I say, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter how hard things seem to be right now, understand that things are passing moments, right? We have to wake up and say it's going to be a good day, no matter what's going on in our life. One of the things that I have to constantly remind myself when I'm feeling bad, hey mother, hey AG, is the one thing I have is breath. I woke the fuck up this morning. Anything else I can deal with. I woke the fuck up this morning. Okay? And then I said, whew, I woke up under a roof, y'all. I can go in the refrigerator and make some damn iced coffee. Today's going to be a good fucking day. You understand what I'm saying? You get the point? Cherish the blessings. Stop focusing on the things we don't have or the things that we feel we need. Let's focus on the things we have. Learn to appreciate. All right. And so that was my quick little motivational moment. But listen, y'all, happy fucking Tuesday. Uhu said my coping mechanism is cracking jokes, even if I'm the only one laughing. Baby, I understand it. I understand it. Right. And so everybody has different coping mechanisms. Like I feel like Nick Cannon's dick is his coping mechanism. I feel like fucking is his coping mechanism. You know, everybody got different coping mechanisms. The other thing that you motherfuckers make my ass itch, right? The other thing I want to talk about as we're joining in, is, even though we as a society say we understand that people are different. We say that, right? We understand that people are different. Don't we all say that? We all fucking say that. We acknowledge that everybody is different. Everybody does things differently, right? Okay. So why the fuck do the same set of society folks, us, all of us, when someone does something different than what you think or how you think they should have done it, why do y'all motherfuckers get mad? If we acknowledge that we are all not the same, we are different, and we execute on things differently. Some might seem the same or similar ways of executing things, but we're all different as people. So why the fuck do we get mad at each other when we do something different other than what we expect people to do? If you decide to do something different than what I feel how it should be done, why am I mad? We got to normalize understanding and accepting that people are different. So be mindful when you go to someone and they've done something and you say, well, you should have did it this way, or you should have did it that way, or I wouldn't have did it this way, I would have did it that way. That's you. Be mindful of that shit, y'all, because some of y'all motherfuckers forget about democracy. Some of y'all motherfuckers forget that our DNAs are different. Some of y'all motherfuckers act like everybody's supposed to do the same shit, the same exact way. And if they do something different, they stupid or they dumb. I just want to put that shit out there because it makes my ass itch. Just in general conversations, I catch myself doing it too. I'm guilty. I'm the first. I'm a motherfucker that'll be like, why would you do that? You should have did it this way. He did it or she did it the way he the fuck wanted to do it. We got to learn to accept that people are different. Stop holding people to the fire and nailing people to the cross for doing things and executing things in the way that they saw fit. Jeez. That was a lesson for myself. Right. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hey, protagonist. Good morning. Good morning. So this weekend, I know y'all, I've been working on trying to get my video and my sound right. Okay. Angel, I see Angel is the only one right now. Oh, I see 4 eyes looking on YouTube, but I only see Angel's comment. So those people that's looking on YouTube and or on Facebook, let me know how I'm doing. I went over to Facebook real quick and the shit looked clear to me. It do, y'all. It looks clear. Let me just confirm that I'm coming in clear on YouTube and on Facebook, y'all. Hey, Cheryl. Good morning. And then once you confirm that, all right. Angel said, YouTube sounds and looks great, y'all. Hey, today's going to be a good day. Wake up. All right. Let me tell y'all what the fuck I had to do, y'all. Then we're going to get into some topics, okay? So, y'all know how my shit was fuzzy and shit. I never called the cable company to cuss the motherfuckers out, right? Because we did a couple of tests. McCliver, he's not on here yet. He worked with me over the phone and we did a couple of tests. And we figured out that, I needed to extend or boost my Wi-Fi signal into my Coffee with Friends room. And so I was reading up on Wi-Fi extenders and all of them suck. They all had bad reviews. So I didn't want to necessarily buy the wrong thing. So I went to Best Buy. And guess what, y'all? While I'm in the aisle talking to the network guy, all right, in the aisle talking about my Wi-Fi situation. Motherfuckers was coming in. AG was with me. This motherfucker came in and grabbed this box, right? And lo and behold, it was the same item that the tech was telling me I needed to get. It's the Eero. All right, so guys, it's an Amazon product. It's a mesh network system that I set up. So I'm trying it today for the first time. Okay, on my show. I set it up. It's very easy to set up. And so I had to get a mesh wiring system. And so that fucked me up this weekend because I wanted to go to brunch and I wanted to do shit. But I invest in this show. I spend my money on this show. I show the fuck up here for free, y'all. So that's why I be appreciating it when y'all come and y'all participate because I'm invested here. All right. This shit is not free for me. I show up for free, but it costs me money behind the scenes. Believe you the fuck me. All right. Okay. I'm just saying the fuck. I love y'all. I hope you love me. In the meantime, between time to show your love, if you're on IG, give me the hearts now. Come on now. I just told y'all motherfuckers I spend money on y'all. So I could be clear. Well, IG never had no trouble with the signal. But YouTube and Facebook, come on the fuck now. Give me them likes. As you coming in the door, give me the likes. Hey, Glamour47. Hey, Fancy K. Good fucking morning. So I am glad that my shit is clear. And I'm glad that you guys had patience with me and y'all stuck it out with me and worked out the kinks. All right. Good morning, Pat. Yes. I love it. It's cheaper, Georgie, if you go to Best Buy. If you order it from Amazon, it's going to cost you some money. All right. But I went to Best Buy and got it off the shelf. And let me tell you, it was only one left after the one that I purchased. So, it seems as though we're investing a lot of money in the Wi-Fi in our homes, but still there's the Wi-Fi service. Just because you have a modem in your home don't mean every one of your rooms is getting a good service. You have dead spots. Some homes have dead spots based on the walls and the constructions of their home. My apartment, the building I live in, metal beams. So I know I have dead spot in my coffee with friends room and in my bedroom. So I just want to share that with y'all. All right. So good fucking morning, y'all. So listen, y'all see the topic, but before I'm just going to frame out the topic, but there's something I want to talk about before we get into the topic. We might not make it to the topic, but if we don't make it to the topic, I will move this topic over to tomorrow. Let me just frame out what the topic is. You are treated based on how we feel about your mama. All right. So what the fuck does that mean? Now, I saw something posted and I saw a video circulating and I wish I had my hands on that video. You know how you see something on social media and you say to yourself, "Oh, I need to go back to that because I want to discuss it." I completely forgot where I heard this from, where the video was, but it's the topic itself resonated with me because it's a real experience that I experienced. So there was something circulating around social media, and the topic was you are treated based on how we feel about your mother. Now, when growing up as a child, I'm just framing this out, and then I'm moving on, and then I'm going to quickly touch on something else. When growing up as a child, one of the things that I experienced growing up is, my mother wasn't always the popular daughter-in-law in the family, right? And my grandmother, my father's mom, I felt like my grandmother had one daughter and four sons, right? Same as me. I have four brothers and I'm the only girl. I love that. But I felt like because my grandmother only had one daughter, like that was her favorite, right? I mean, her favorite child. I want to say she would never admit that, but I say that was her favorite child. And so when my aunt had children, right, her children were treated extra special in my eyes. I know some of them, some I love them though. I have no issues with my cousins on my father's side, right? But this is true shit. Okay, they can't come on here and deny it. I love them and it's not their fault, right? But what happens is in the family is when there is a favorite daughter and that daughter has children, their children become the favorite in my experience, right? My dad wasn't my grandmother's. Like I said, she only had one girl, so the boys were just the boys. All right. So when I felt like the rest of the cousins, like myself, we got treated based on how close they were with my mom. And so one of the things I remember it growing up is my grandfather, when he got drunk, because, he might not have favored my mother as much as some of the others. All right. When he got drunk, he used to talk a lot of shit about my mom, and he used to talk a lot of shit about me because I was an extension of my mom. I didn't do anything to him, but everything he felt, all the negative energy that he felt about my mother, right? For whatever reason, maybe he was mad because, her and my dad didn't make it. I never knew the reasons why. Okay. But I remember feeling bad every time he got drunk and he spoke negative. He always attacked my mom, and then he ultimately attacked me. And I used to sit there and I used to say, well, what the fuck did I do? Why are you mad at me? But when I heard this post circulating around social media saying that, you are treated based on, in your family, you are treated based on how they feel about your mom. If they don't like your mom, they might mistreat you as well. So that's the topic today. And I want to hear if anybody has had that experience. But before we get into that, yeah, oh, Mishi Boom. I did get my keys. Y'all. I got my keys. Thank you. AG, like I said, for all those that remember me being frantic about my keys falling down the elevator shaft, okay? AG said on Coffee with Friends, in front of y'all motherfuckers, he said, by hook or by crook, he is going to get my keys no matter what, even if he has to call the fire department, okay? Well, baby, AG got my keys, okay? I was on the phone with him, and he was telling me about the conversation he was having with the super and how they were going to have to call the elevator company and charge me $300 for these keys, to go get these keys. And baby, my head almost exploded because I'm like, what the fuck? And I said, oh my God, but if I don't pay him, my Louis Vuitton wallet is down there. That's more than $300. My key, my car key is down there. That's about $250. I need to get my keys, but I was hoping I didn't have to pay $300. Well, baby, in the same sentence that he was telling me about the $300, this man, this magical friend of mine, held the keys up. We were on FaceTime. He held the keys up. I almost, baby, I saw all, you think, yes, you think the weekend was July 4th. When he held up my keys, baby, all kind of fireworks went off in my head. Okay? I appreciate that shit. I got my fucking keys. Now I'm so traumatized, and I have elevated PTSD now. So now when I get in the elevator, I shove my keys as deep down in my pocketbook as I can, because now I'm fucking afraid that everything's gonna fall down the elevator shaft. Thank you guys for asking me about my motherfucking keys. I got my keys back. All right. All right. So I framed out the topic. Thank you for asking me about my keys. Hey, the love, Dave. Thank you, Fancy K. I appreciate that. Now, quickly before we get into the topic, but y'all can run up the comments because I am going to read the comments. All right. So run up the comments. Y'all can start touching on the topic. But I want to say this. These shootings. Okay. So early this morning, I love y'all. I got an inbox, right? All right, because the shootings in Illinois, our resident Coffee with Friends member, Uhu, right? Uhu. Is it Uhu, aka Aquanda? I try to get the names right. Okay. Inbox me and let me know. Right? This is not a topic, so I could tell you who inboxed me. This is real current events. That in Illinois there was a mass shooting, and I heard about it on the news. So it's not a secret, all right, that we had this mass shooting. But mass shooting July 4th parade at Highland Park in Illinois. 8 people died. Now, this is a sad state of affairs, y'all. Right? I don't know what's going on with all these shootings, but we have an angry America. Okay. And so, I want to say, what's outside starting to look like for y'all? Like, the world has opened up. We stayed in the house for 2+ years, right? Now we outside for real outside, right? Now we got to worry about monkeypox and we got to worry about these mass shootings, all right? I don't know who else lives in Illinois outside of Uhu, but prayers. These shootings are getting out of control. I was at the Pride Parade, and I told y'all about this. In the village, I walked from one end to the village to the other, from the east side to the west side. I hung out in the village all day, all night. Okay, I got home at night, right? But soon as nighttime hit, and we just walking from store to store enjoying ourselves, okay? I told y'all, motherfuckers start running. All these motherfuckers start running in packs, talking about gunshots, gunshots. Me and my girlfriend ran back into the sex store, okay, and start just staring at the dildos, trying to act like we just passing the time, because the fuck, we was not going outside. That was very scary for me. Ultimately, what they found out was it wasn't gunshots during the Pride Parade. It was the fireworks that scared people. But the same thing happened, I believe, in Chicago at the same time. I think it was Chicago. Could be wrong. But at the same time, people thought it was gunshots. It was either Chicago or San Francisco. I can't remember. But the fear, this goes to tell me that we have a fear set in from all of these mass shootings. How are you guys feeling about going outside and getting involved in outdoor activities with all of these mass shootings? Is there a fear building up in our society? What are y'all thoughts about these mass shootings? Prayers for those in Illinois that were affected, okay? Whether you were a victim of the actual shooting, or whether you're just traumatized because it's so close to home, prayers. I want to say that. But I want to ask Coffee with Friends members, how are you guys feeling about going outside and getting into these events? Because I'm going to tell you no lie, I was scared to death during Pride. And I was thinking to myself, until they confirmed it was, I didn't even find out it was fireworks until we were about to leave. Like, we had run like 10, 15 blocks by then, cut corners, went around, and was getting on the train when we found out it was fireworks. Or actually, I think we found out the next day it was fireworks. Very scary. Okay. So I wanted to bring that because, you know, I just want to acknowledge on Coffee with Friends that, we joke and we play a lot on here, but the pains throughout our society, it hurts. Pat said another black man shot 60 times by the cops. It started out as a traffic issue. Are things getting better? Hey, future Miss Eso, are things getting better? Johnny said, Georgie said, girl, there has been 12 shootings on I-10 here in New Orleans this year. How are y'all feeling about being outside? Johnny said a 16-year-old boy lost his life in D.C. last night because someone was shooting last night in the midst of the fireworks. That's why I didn't really care to go out and experience the fireworks this year. I didn't. Right? Now, I could have went on the roof of my building last night, because I live in a boutique building, 8 floors, and I'm on the top floor. And I could have just went right up to the roof, because normally on July, that's what I do. I go up to the roof and I watch the fireworks up there. I could take my little chair. I could sit up there, have a glass of wine, and watch the fireworks from there. I'm very safe at home. So I don't know how you guys are feeling on the outside, but certain activities, I stay away from like fireworks and shit now lately, because I'm like, I can't, especially after Pride. I was like, I can't differentiate what the fuck is a firework and what the fuck is a gun at this point. Too much going on, y'all. So I want to say, stay fucking safe, okay? No problem, Uhu. Of course. All right. One reliable sin said the Akron event is where they shot the 25-year-old Uber driver, right? Fired like 80 shots and hit him 60 times. He had no weapons on him. Damn. Wow. Uhu said he was a DoorDash worker, the young man that got shot 60 times. I worked for DoorDash. This is insane. People, be careful. Be the fuck careful. Okay? Be careful. Georgie said, I want to go out less and less as the days go by. I especially don't want to be outside where there's going to be more palm colored people than us. Palm colors are very, very shoot everyone. Oh, they'll shoot everyone for no reason. Well, they got a reason. We just don't fucking understand it. Okay. Georgie said, I was just about to go back to $50 service because we up to the 150 plan and it has been slower across the house, like the issues you were dealing with. Well, yeah, Georgie, the Wi-Fi, it's a racket. Because I had no issue with my YouTube when I was on a slower. Same thing, Georgie. Soon as I upgraded to 1 gig, what fucking happened? I started having issues, right? And then it caused me to have to go out and spend more money to set up a mesh network, all right, so that I can have clear video and clear sound. They robbing us. The fuck? They are robbing us. All right, protagonist says, in Haitian culture, I never experienced that. This is something, okay, back to the topic, y'all, because we bipolar, we could jump around. I got y'all, I got the comments, all right? You are treated based on how we feel about your mom. Anybody in your family, in your family and in your experience growing up, did you recognize a pattern in your family where based on how the elders felt about your mom, based on how they placed her in the family, based on how her level of importance was, did that roll off onto how they treated you as a child, as a niece, as a grandchild, or whatever? Did you feel like you were treated differently? Like for me, growing up, I feel like I was treated differently, right? But I don't blame my cousins because they were kids like me, right? I don't blame my cousins for it, right? But I feel like I was treated differently based on my circumstance, based on my mom, and based on my dad, right? I felt like there were things that my grandmother, my grandparents would do, right? For my other cousins, because that was my grandmother's daughter's kids, that she wouldn't extend the same courtesies to me. Example, I remember growing up, I used to always want to go to Bermuda with them. I used to be like, I want to go to Bermuda. I want to go to Bermuda. I want to go to Bermuda. Okay. I was always told, no, you're too young. You can't go. You're too young. By the time I got older, they stopped going because my grandmother got older, right? So my grandmother stopped going. I did ultimately get to go as an adult on a cruise. But the one thing I remembered was my little cousins always went. They wasn't too young, right? Why weren't they too young, but I was, right? Based on who your mama is based on how much, how invested the other family members are going to be on you. I believe this. I experienced it growing up. I spent summers with my cousins who abused me over and over and over again. Now this is on my now that's a whole nother story that I got to tell y'all. Now the first set of grandmother that I just explained was on my father's side. They're from Bermuda. But on my mother's side, I felt like I took a lot of abuse from my cousins on my mother's side. And I don't know if it was based on who my mother was or whatever, but I took a lot of abuse from my cousins on my mother's side. All right. My mother has several sisters, okay, and their children abused me. My cousins, okay. I know some of them motherfuckers are listening on this show today, but it's true. And I always invite motherfuckers to come on my show and say if I'm lying. Cause shit, I mean, I got menopause. I might have forgot some shit. Come the fuck here. Come here. Come tell me I'm lying. One reliable sin said that kind of mess makes it hard to go outside. That's why I asked you guys, how are you guys feeling about going outside in the midst of all these mass shootings, right? And now more and more people are going to be carrying, concealed, going to get their concealed to carry license, concealed carry license. Okay. One reliable sin said, if I'm going to the grocery store, will I make it back home? Right. Girl, this is a real question. We love you too, Angel. All right. Um, Protagonist says, in the Haitian culture, I never experienced that. But when my father's side of my family wants something from her, they make me ask my mom. Mm. Angel said, I'm in Chicago in the suburbs. Okay. Johnny said, oh, good morning. You're not late. You're never late, Johnny. Pat, oh, I read that one. Um, Georgie said, I want to go out less and less as the days go by. I especially don't want to go outside where there's going to be more. Oh, I read that. More palm tree colored people. Johnny said, this was the first time I really had no interest in going out to watch the fireworks. You too? You too, Johnny? I swear I had no interest. Not one. I felt comfortable watching TV with my kids. It sounded like World War III out there. Yup. Because right from my window, I could see the fireworks lighting up. I can't see it from my window, but I could see the reflections off of the windows in the buildings. I would have to go on the roof because my windows don't face the front of the building. So I couldn't see my windows face the side street. So I would have had to go on the roof. But I was fine sitting on the couch watching Stranger Things. I sat on the couch, I watched Stranger Things, and it sounded like a bunch of bombs was going on out there. I was like, damn it. I can only imagine Ukraine, and these are fireworks. Like every now and again, I was like this, ooh, and looking at the window, like, what the fuck? You know them big, those firecrackers things that go boom. I was like, what the fuck? I had no interest. Okay. Georgie said, I am going to invest in what you have and still go back down to the $50 plan because I get VA benefits. I get a credit and that would make my service free when I switch back. Girl, do it. Get a mesh system. Go and get that Eero system. Okay. Put them shits around your house. I got one sitting in this room. All right, where my coffee with friends setup is. And I got to get another one to put in my bedroom, right? If you log on, this is just an FYI, if you log on to your cable service and you go into your internet, you can see all the devices that's connected and you could check the speed of what each room is getting. Right. And so for me, I checked my signal in each room, and in my living room where the actual modem is excellent. In my coffee with friends room where I'm at right now, it was just good. And in my bedroom is fair. So you can see the different rooms are getting different signals. The closer you are to the modem, the better your signal. I'm learning and I'm sharing. Okay. Um, Hey Madison, good morning. Future said, I definitely was treated better in my mother's family because I was the child of their daughter. It depends on who your parents are sometimes, how your family treats you, right? It's very fucking unfortunate because let me tell you something. I've had my fair share of mistreatments. Okay. I was everything to them. I'm cool on my father's side, but I wasn't showered with the same love. Okay. So on my mother's side of my family, okay, this is one of them conversations that make you mad when you're talking about it. So I get irritated when I'm talking about it. But on my mother's side of the family, I don't my cousins on my mother's side of the family, some of them I could fucking do without. I said it on my show out loud, dear cousins. I could do without, right? Because they didn't mean me no good growing up. They didn't, right? They abused me. And when I remember the times that I spent I'm not even going to go deep into this today, right? But there is going to be a time that I get deep into some of the things, the abuse that I've experienced with my cousins. I'm going to share that with y'all on Coffee with Friends. I just got to be in the right mental space to do that. But I spent many a summers with my cousins in Spring Valley, upstate New York, right? It's supposed to be a fun time. You go upstate, you have a good time, you hang with your cousins in the summer. It was my fucking worst summers. It was my fucking worst summers. And if any of my cousins are listening to this show, y'all should be a fucking shame of yourselves. Okay. It was my worst summers. They abused me. And because I wasn't the daughter of the favorite daughter in the family, when I would go and complain about the amount of abuse I was taking from my cousins, my grandfather at the time would ignore me. Right? The same way they ignored my mother's cries when she was growing up being abused. You understand what I'm saying? Right? But if this was my other aunt's kids who complained, their complaints would have been heard. Why? Because my grandfather also had a favorite child. Okay? And so that favorite child was always taken care of, and so were their kids. Their kids, those grandkids never had to worry about being homeless because the door was always open to them by my mother's mother. But my mother's mother, I swear she didn't like me. And I don't know why, but I didn't like her either. Right? I didn't like her based on the mistreatment of my mom from her. And I didn't like her based on the mistreatment from her to me. She was mean, cold, distant. And I think that had a lot to do with just me being my mother's child. I remember laying in bed and crying, saying, why me? Why do I have the parents that I have? And nobody liked my motherfucking parents. So ultimately, I felt like an outcast. So when I saw this floating around social media where they talked about you are treated based on how motherfuckers feel about your mom and the family, I felt that shit. I felt that shit. And the message here is, y'all, we got to do motherfucking better. Kids ain't got shit to do with whatever situation you had with the adult. We got to stop mistreating kids based on the fact that we don't like their mom. I remember, I never forget this, the one thing that hurt me to my core when I was a single mom, okay, and I had no place to stay, and I wound up living with my boyfriend at the time and his mother and his siblings, okay? His sisters didn't like me, right? But yet one of the sisters had a son the same age as my son, but because she didn't like me, she didn't let her son play with my son. My son used to go to the door to look for her little boy, and she used to slam the door in my son's face. It hurt me. All based on the fact that you don't like me. We need to do better, people. How many kids got to suffer because you don't like their mother? They didn't ask for their parents. They didn't ask to be here. The kids are innocent. I suffered. I did. And that's why in my adult life, I don't depend on not near one family member. Not one. And I'm close to my cousins on my father's side, but I still don't depend on nobody. So I wanted to bring this here because I felt that shit. When I saw that shit go, I felt that shit because I grew up like this. Not being liked or being the bottom of the totem pole, always having to prove myself because I felt like I was being targeted based on how they felt about my mom. Cheryl Lee said, my children was treated differently by their grandmother. She treated her daughter's children different from her son's children. It happens, y'all. I ain't never went to Bermuda as a kid, but my other cousins did. I never traveled with my grandmother, but my other cousins did. To Canada, to other places. I think I went to one trip. One. Hey, Soulful BBW. Uhu said, I might just have to. My son told me that some dude went into my mom's car. She accidentally had the door unlocked. My brother had the dog run him off. I might get my other 20-hour for armed security. You might have to. My sperm donor's mom, okay, this is from Uhu as well. My sperm donor's mom didn't like me. She spoke no English. When I was pregnant with our daughter and son, she said that these weren't his kids. Eventually, down the road, she apologized. But how do you get past that when you're an adult? When you grow up, because I'm in my healing season and I'm not past that shit. I'm still working through some kinks in my family dynamics. All right. I I'm still working through some kinks in my family dynamics because, there's some things that I'm trying to still heal from my family members, right? That I'm still trying to talk about. Okay. And until I'm able to talk about them and really start aggressively healing on that aspect of my life, I'm still going to be angry. I'm hella angry with a whole set of my cousins on my mother's side. And the crazy thing is, those cousins, they don't support me or anything like that. I don't expect them to support me. But the fucked up shit of it is that the one particular cousin, I know they probably watch my show. They probably say, what they gonna do? Come kick my ass though. One particular cousin, I know she don't like me, right? But you know how you go into your stories and you can see who's watching your fucking stories. And I'd be like, why is she watching my stories? I often wonder because lately, every now and again I inject about how I'm going to talk about how my cousins abused me in Spring Valley, what my summers were like in Spring Valley. All right. When I tell those stories in more detail than I did today, it's going to hurt people in my family. It is. But I don't care. You know why I don't care? Because they didn't care when it hurt me. They didn't. And so, because I mention it every now and again on this show, I think she watches my story to see when I'm a tell. You wait, baby girl. It's coming. Okay. And again, I want to say publicly, anybody that wants to dispute a story that I tell on this show, please come the fuck on here live and call me a liar. Cause I got menopause and so I forget some shit. But if I said you did some shit to me and you calling me a liar, come here. Come here. We need to do better, y'all. Um, Cheryl Lee said, my children and my brother's children were also treated differently by my mom than their cousins by my mother's favorite daughter. So what do these discussions look like in your household when you have children that are being treated differently because of how they feel about your mom or your dad or about you and your husband? What do these conversations look like with your children? See, I never had the conversation. No one has sat me down and said, I know that you're being treated differently. Right. And I don't think my mother realized I was being treated differently. And I don't think my dad realized I was being treated differently. Right. Because a lot of the stuff that happened to me, I just kept to myself. I didn't think anybody would care. Okay. I didn't think anybody would care. But I remember crying out to my grandparents in Spring Valley several times for help. Okay. Just to give you some examples. Okay. They used to lock me in the bathroom, make me sleep on the floor overnight, shit like that. Cold ass bathroom upstairs. I would go downstairs eventually once I got out, or when they threatened that I was going to have to sleep in the bathroom on the floor. And I would go downstairs and I would cry out to my grandparents, and they would tell me to be quiet and stop whining and stop complaining. But I guarantee you, if one of my other cousins went downstairs and complained, their cries would have been heard. And because my cries were ignored, the abuse got worse and worse and worse and worse. It did. And my cousins out there that might listen to my show, yes, I'm going to tell exactly what y'all did to me one day. Not today, though, but one day, right? Because I'm on my healing journey, and a part of unpacking things is to talk about them. For me, that's how I'm healing. Not everybody do things differently. For me, right? And the one thing that I have learned to accept is stop keeping secrets to protect other people. Right? See, people don't want you to tell your truths and your stories because they don't want to be embarrassed or ashamed. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. And so the thing that my biggest fear when I had my son was that people were going to mistreat my son. And that I couldn't have because I would fucking kill you. I would, and I'm dead ass serious about that. Okay. And so what I did with my son was I was overprotective. And I didn't really let him stay with family members like that, summers and shit like that. I didn't do that. The very first time I let my son go for the summer was down south with Natalia, who normally joins our show. But normally, and why? Because I know what I experienced and I felt like I was already not the favorite. So how the fuck were they going to treat my child being that I wasn't the favorite because my mom wasn't the favorite? So of course my child isn't going to be the favorite. So I became overprotective, which which was good and bad because my son is not close to a lot of family members because I kept him away because them motherfuckers, some of them are crazy and they do whack shit. And I didn't want to end up in jail. That's why I say we got to do better, people. Stop having these children suffer based on how you feel about their parents. You don't know the trauma that we grow up with. A lot of us are walking around with childhood trauma that we're still trying to heal from. I know I am. I can't even, I've been promising to talk about what my cousins did to me in Spring Valley, and I still can't talk about it. It's that serious. One reliable sense said that will be your truth through your healing season. If your cousin opposes your truth, then instead of low-key stalking, she, he, they should reach out to have the convo, but they won't. But they won't. See, they hope I forgot. I never forget. Just because I don't talk about certain things, I and when I see you, I might smile in your face instead of punching you in your face. But I know it's going to be so freeing the day that I talk about this shit. Okay? And the reason why I'm hesitant to talk about it is one, I'm afraid. That's my honest. It's a lot. That's number one. Number two, is going to impact other people that didn't have anything to do with it, but they're going to feel the pain of it. This is like a family secret that's going to be fucking told on my show. I always tell people, if you want me to tell good stories about you, be good to me. Angel said, my grandparents lived with us and I was the oldest. Their other grandchildren that came later lived out of state. Okay. One of the things is that, my grandmother on my father's side, even though she had her favorites, she was my favorite. Because again, I didn't get along with my mother's mom based on the fact that I just never grew close to her. She just always seemed mean. And the way she treated my mom to me, was so harsh, right? And I never felt any love from her anyway. So it was you know, I just never got close to her. I just didn't. So this is one of the things that I wanted to share on here, because when I saw this circulating around social media, I felt it. And I was like, you know what? This is out not only for those in talking about our family members. I'm talking about people, even people. Listen, y'all, when y'all date motherfuckers that have kids, right? Don't mistreat other motherfuckers, kids, babies, bad because you ended up having a toxic relationship with that person, right? Don't treat the other person bad. And for the baby mamas that are out there, okay, that broke up with their baby daddies and their baby daddies have moved on and might have other children. Do not mistreat those fucking children because you mad at the baby daddy. Same thing. These kids don't have nothing to do with this. Now I ain't talking about that McDonald's shit because that's some other shit. But in general, y'all, we got to do better. We got to recognize that these babies don't have nothing to do with this adult shit that we got going on. We got to learn how to separate this shit. First thing we do is mistreat people, these motherfucking kids, because of how we feel about these adults. Nah, we can't do that. We cannot do that. You know, I remember not having a place to live for several reasons when I was young. Okay? And my mother's mother, she never offered me a place to stay. She never even offered her own daughter a place to stay. Right? But that same grandmother would offer her other daughter a place to stay and her other daughter's kids a place to stay. You understand? But her other daughter, my mother, could be homeless for all she cared. Which ultimately rolled down to me. If she didn't give a fuck about my mom being homeless, she wasn't going to give a fuck about me being homeless and my kids being homeless. But her other daughter, soon as she thought her other daughter was going to be homeless or their kids were going to be homeless or their kids were going to be homeless, the whole family stepped up. People took on my cousin's kids to help raise her kids. People took her into their homes. All kind of shit. I went from door to door to door begging people to feed my son because that grandmother didn't extend the same courtesy to me. Stop letting these kids suffer because you have a tainted relationship with the adult. It causes bad relationships with the cousins because ultimately, if the adults would have treated me better, okay, then my cousins would not have abused me. Okay? And when my cousins abused me, they were following the leader who was one of the adults. One of my aunts was the leader in the abuse tribe. That's what the fuck I'm gonna call them, the fucking motherfucking abuse tribe. Okay? My aunt was the leader of the gang. Okay? And so I say this, kids are doing what the fuck they see these adults do. Okay? If the adults had better respect for my mother, then they would have had better respect for me. And they would have heard my cries and they would have did something about it. And that leader, the abuse leader, she wouldn't have been the abuse leader. But that wasn't my fate. My fate was you didn't like my mama. So I paid the price for that. And I can say this. I'm 55 and I don't know if I could ever forgive them motherfuckers for what they did. And I don't have to be nice to them anymore. See, growing up, I had to be nice. But I don't have to be nice to nobody anymore. This is what I talked about in part of my walk and chat with Roar this weekend when I said, you got to learn to let people go. This was said to me. Learn to let motherfuckers go. Donna said, hey, Donna, good morning. Donna said, my mother instilled dislike and wonder because my grandmother, because she was white and my sister was lighter than I, didn't see the difference. Neither did my grandmother. When I confronted her with the issue, it's in all family tree. sad we all have to communicate with each other better. It might ease a lot of pain through misunderstanding. Okay, so you're saying that you got mistreated because you were darker than your sister. Mm. Some may not even understand why they are behaving in that manner. That's why motherfuckers need to do the work. Okay? You're right, Donna. A lot of people may not understand, but I know for sure my cousins know what they did was fucking wrong. I know what I know that they know what they did is wrong. And I guarantee you, I bet that they're hoping that I forgot about it. But I didn't. Some shit I just don't talk about. You know what I'm saying? But this thing I'm gonna talk about because, you know, why should they get to sleep at night with this secret? Fuck that. So I say, as a society, people, it hurts me when I see people mistreating children because of how they feel about the adult. We got to do better, y'all. We got to do better. I talk about on this show loving up on our brothers and sisters, okay? Being better people, okay? It starts with us. And so one of the things I try to do is I try to love up on the babies no matter what. No matter what. They didn't ask for it. And if you have issues with the adults in your life, either work those issues out or cut them out of your life. Okay? Stop being toxic. You don't have to be toxic. It takes a lot of work for people like me and you to unpack shit that has happened to us growing up. We have to do better. Cheryl Lee said, I didn't allow the toxicity to interfere with the relationship dynamics of my six with each other. Their cousins who are now grown also admit that they know they were the favorite and treated better. Yeah. Just tap into your children, because you don't know, in many family situations, you know, some kids feel the pain of not being the favorite, and some kids are being mistreated and we don't even know it as adults, okay, because we just think, oh, they're with their cousins. Okay, but I was with my cousin. This is one question, my cousins. This is one question that I asked a while ago when we talk about, we don't trust our kids with strangers. Well, baby, sometimes family is worse. I'm just saying. In my case, family was worse. On that side of the family, it was worse. And the hurtful thing is two of my cousins on that side I used to be close with. Real close. Real close. Until we weren't. And so the message that I'm bringing today on Coffee with Friends is, okay, stop mistreating these children based on how you feel about their parents. Okay? We have to remember that childhood trauma stays with us a long time, if not forever. It's a constant work to be in a healing season. All right. And the one thing about healing from all the trauma that we've been through is that in that healing period, we know that new trauma is going to present itself. New shit is going to present itself. And we got to be able to manage the new shit on top of the shit that we still trying to heal from. A lot of us are running around here with band-aids on, right? We need to start confronting the issues. We need to start looking at ourselves as individuals, see how we play a part in society, see if we can do better in loving up on each other. And if you don't want to fuck with somebody and their kids, I would rather you not fuck with them in its entirety than to fuck them kids up. Stop mistreating these children based on how you feel about their parents. Now, we're never going to avoid the favorites. The favorites is always going to happen. Everybody's going to have a favorite in the family in the family. But that doesn't mean that all the others need to be mistreated. I'm just saying. Like for me, my son has three baby mothers. Three. Three. Three children. One by each. I don't care how I feel at any given moment about any of these women. That don't got shit to do with my grandchildren at all. Nothing. Nothing. Nada. Okay? We need to do better. Right? And I'm also for, like I said, my son has three baby mothers. Something I didn't want him to have. That's no secret. But he has it. And we deal with it. We are family. Irregardless. Irregardless, we are a family and we have to make it work. Why? Because I don't give a fuck about how adults feel about adults. I don't. I make it work because of these damn kids. Right? Because I knew what it felt like when I was a kid and I was rejected. And I will never reject any of my grandchildren based on how any of their parents are. It's not their fault. We got to do better, people. We got to do better. Donna said communication before elimination should be exercised, I believe. We are all human and fall short. We are. Fucking Donna, say that shit again. Because some motherfuckers, they forget. We are all human and we all fall short. But when we fall short, what should we do? Take accountability in that. Because in accountability, there's growth. When you recognize that you fell short and you acknowledge that and you say that shit out loud, that's like fertilizer. Growth. Right? That's the fucking topic for today. That is the message for today, y'all. And you know, we started out talking about the shootings and stuff like that. And I want to say, you know, we are in very hard times. I mean, for real, y'all, we are in inflation. There's a war going on. Women's rights are being stripped from us. The last thing, people rights, women rights, everything. It's like we are going backwards. Okay. And if for nothing else, we need more love. We need to do better. Okay. We are in hard times. And we should not wait until we're in hard times to do better. We should be loving up on each other as best as we can always. And so I wanted to share that because that was a topic that really, really, you know, I felt that because it was my experience growing up, being treated differently based on who your mother is. Wow. We got to do better. More love. That's right, Donna. More love. And with that, y'all, I want to go back and just touch on the weekend. I didn't fucking ask you guys what y'all did for the weekend this weekend. And every Monday I do that. Monday, I was off yesterday. So today is Tuesday, aka like a Monday. You know, so before we go, anybody want to share what they did this weekend? What did I do this weekend? I did a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Nothing major. I went to the park. I did my 4-mile walk at the park once a week. I'm trying to, you know, I ride my bike 6 days a week, and now I have incorporated a long walk, 4 miles on a weekend. One day on a weekend, I'm trying to push it to 5 miles eventually, but my legs be on fire. But, you know, a part of healing is not only working on your mental, but it's working on your physical too. Not just to get the body that you want, but to keep your stamina up, your endurance up, you know, your energy levels up. You know, sometimes, you know, when you are going through a lot of stuff mentally, you know, it weighs on the body. It weighs on the body. Movement is power. All right. And so I find that when I'm in my healing season, that is one of my most focused seasons to focus on my body, because at that point, as I'm getting my mental together, my physical is coming together and everything works in favor. All right. So guys, as you are in your healing season and you're working on some things in yourself, don't just focus on your mental, focus on your physical too. Movement has power, any kind of movement. All right. Any kind of movement. All right. So I don't know what the fuck y'all did for the weekend, but I had a nice weekend, y'all. I did. Yesterday, I scratched my ass all day. I was supposed to go grocery shopping. I'm going to go grocery shopping today, pick up a couple of things. And that's about it, y'all. All right. Pat said, I am so sorry that this happened to you. However, I am glad you are healing. I am glad you are confronting your issues. By the way, you were the cutest and adorable child. Thank you, Pat. I appreciate that. Pat, y'all, is my mother's friend from childhood. Isn't that amazing? All right. And I appreciate Pat joins my show every day. Y'all know, and participates. And so she has been around before me. And I love it. I love that, my mother and her maintained a friendship after all this time. Yes, Theo, movement is medicine for the mind and body. Yes, I love it. I love it. And with that, y'all, I can't say this enough. Love up on your motherfucking brothers and sisters. If you have problems with each other, talk about them shits. Talk about them shits and move on. Don't put people in your life in purgatory for the rest of their life. You know what I mean when I say purgatory? When you mad at somebody, right? And you talk it out and y'all air it out, move on. Okay? Purgatory is when you stick them up in that purgatory and you just mad at them instead of talking it out and addressing the issues. That purgatory shit is dangerous, y'all, because it builds resentment. It tears relationships apart. And the one thing that I hate is being in purgatory. My ex used to do that to me. Like we would have an issue and he would, I would think the issue was resolved and then he'd stick me in purgatory. Purgatory meaning he constantly make me or think he's punishing me for the issue over and over again. Okay? Unnecessary. Let's do better. And with that, y'all know the motherfucking link is in my bio. Make sure you are going to the link in my bio, y'all. And you are following me across all of my platforms, YouTube, Facebook, IG, TikTok, where I do all my dances and my motivational shit, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you are sharing out my content. Make sure if you are joining on IG, you are giving me the hearts. Make sure if you are on YouTube, you are giving me the thumbs up. Thank you. I can't thank you guys enough. Okay, of how you guys stick by me even when my sound and my video was crappy. I'm trying to do better. It looks better today. Clive didn't join today, but I will call him today and thank him for spending the time to try to work through my technical issues. I appreciate y'all. As I said, I show the fuck up here for free, y'all, but I invest in all of this. Everything y'all see me on, I invest in. So if you want to support a sister, go to the sister's website, rawtothebone.com, purchase a t-shirt, a hat, something. Okay. Contribute to this to a sister. I will never throw my Cash App thing up there because that's just not my style. I'm not judging anybody who does. Okay. I am more for support me through my items that I sell. This way you get something, I get something, we all get something, we all happy. That's how I try to keep my platform running. All right. But showing up here, I appreciate that just as much. Let's see what the fucking vibes are we are leaving out on today.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go.
What?
Even when there's no hope, you can still go.
Hey.
I never answer to no, man, I still go.
What? Even when there's no hope, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. All right? Many a days I wake up and I feel like, oh my God, my anxiety start. My stomach start hurting. I got to deal with the day. But guess what? I'ma still fucking go. I've been going all this time. I'm not going to give up now. No way. I'ma still fucking go. All right? So y'all get this message. Anything you need. What? You can still go. You can still what? Slide right past that negative energy. Go, 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 go. What? Go, go. But come back tomorrow, because tomorrow is what? Question and assholes day. What? Go, 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 go. Hey, hey, what? 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 Fake it till you make it. Peace, y'all. I'm out, but gone for now, never forever. I will be back tomorrow. Hey, same place, same time, y'all. What? Get this message. Go, y'all. You can still, and even when you feel, and even when there's no hope, you can still go. Go, go, go. Peace. Go. You can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. And never in the middleman. Hey.